Yeah, I mean that's the thing with Sin. It's like you've got Recite, which actually is pretty good if you get a lot of info into it, and you can use Vitalize, and then you've got all the escape sort of abilities that you need. It's just sort of being really conservative. Like you can go any god you want on Formicid and just, you know, play carefully and try not to try not to get into really bad situations and just hope you don't get super unlucky. You can obviously go for like necro things like Borgs or Viv. There's a lot of stuff you could do. I mean, like going Kiku would be just fine. I just did a Kiku game, so I don't want to worship Kiku again. And there's only so many gods that I actually feel like worshiping. Gozag's another good choice. So gods that I would actually consider, I guess you could do, I hate Fedas. The only way I'd really consider Fedas would be to Fedas Jiva, but Jiva is not the biggest like safety god. It gives you one thing that like one hits a big set of monsters, which is great, but a lot of the things I might be scared of, Jiva doesn't directly help you quite so much. Just sort of makes you stronger with healing and with like, you know, good mutations. So Ellie is a pretty good power boost and a good safety boost. Hap I'm not too interested in. Yeah. So I think we'll go with our original plan. Let's pretend I put it to a vote and that was the result. We got Faith Amy, so we'll get Piety with Ellie pretty fast. Oh no, I entered a teleport trap. How unfortunate. Yep. Free kill's right. He knows that I can't resist Quaz. In the end, I can only resist him for so long before, inevitably, yet another Quaz game for Gamma Funk. Well, I will probably come back to this just a little bit later because, honestly, 34 damage from 2 smites in a row, it's kind of a lot. Plus, I mean, this is actually not too hard of an iteration of this vault for me, given the spells and wands I've got. But we can wait a little bit and come back to it. That book is not going to be incredibly useful right away. A lot of axes, though. It's not frequently chosen, yeah. Definitely one of the least popular ones for sure. I mean, it's a really strong god. It's not that exciting of a god, I guess. Strange sense of stasis. Do I have needles? I'm carrying around a blowgun. Carrying around these war axes too, like I'm gonna go axes or something. I mean, axes are actually pretty nice for a Formicid because they have less. They sort of have less repositioning options than most. It's a lot more XP to sink into, but I just don't want to train up a weapon this early, so these war axes are probably not going to come into play, but they might. Oh, we know you put them off too, Tetranai. You're not fooling us. I've seen your video, Tetranai, of you clearing It's a Trap. You clearly did not enter that transporter right away. M-Dog. Well, I could have walked away and let him come around the corner, but I figured Scattershot would finish him off pretty well. What's up, two-headed? Go for a bit of spell casting. How's LRD? Maybe okay. Oh yeah, Invo. Maybe we'll actually get some Invo first. There's Minmay. Invo chains up fast. Gotta actually remember the Ellie abilities. Yeah, that's pretty good. 1 MP, self-heal. So if any of you are newer to this, you'll see me doing 0 skill melee with this Venom Dagger. This is a thing that should be repeated a lot for people who are struggling with mages. You don't have to pretend that because you're a spellcaster you don't do melee. Something like an Elect Dagger, a Venom Dagger. Venom is a particularly nice brand to do this, but you don't have to use... It's just that you're most likely going to find it on a dagger. But if you found some other weapon that's got a really good brand, or if it just has a bunch of an enchantment on it, maybe it's an artifact, maybe it's just positively enchanted. 0 skill melee can save you a bunch of MP. Right now my MP is enough that I'm not too concerned about it, but it can make a huge difference early on. You just have to be careful depending on what phase of the game you're in and what monster you're fighting. So if you're on D1, you can do a little bit of 0 skill melee if you have a weapon. One of the cool things about spellcasting starts is that you can wield a weapon that you don't know, whether it's cursed, with a little bit less concern than other types of characters that absolutely have to have like their launcher or their melee weapon. Those guys don't want to go trying on random weapons quite as much. But if you're a spellcaster and you pick up a dagger and it turns out to be cursed -1, you're not stuck without the ability to do anything. But at some point you're going to have remove curse, and trying out weapons will be okay. Some things can go wrong, like you can get a distortion weapon, but usually the solution for that is just to use it for a while and try to unwield it much later. For people who are newer, going to the Abyss, it all seems super scary though, so... That's another one of those things where you just have to get better at surviving the Abyss when your character is actually able to survive it. If you get banished really early, you're not necessarily going to be able to survive the trip, but past a certain point, you should be able to. I just got gloves. That's cool. Yeah, we'll just stop Invo at 5. It's fine. Partially explored. Oh, right. So we never woke up the elf twins. Do we want to try for... I guess we can try Transporter Vault. I want one more level. Look at that. I did it. Wow. Book of the Sky. Well, Lightning Spire is a pretty cool spell, and who knows, I might want Deflect Missiles. Well, clearly needs a buff. Oh, you followed me up, my friend. Well played. Uh-oh. He's in plate. I don't know what I thought was going to happen there. What I want to do... I have a net, actually. It might... Yeah, you can polymorph these guys, but it's... you can get some scary results. Yeah, he swapped, and I for some reason thought that the other one would make it, which was not really a reasonable assumption. Yeah, I don't really want to poly him. It's just a little bit too risky. It's a convenient way to get rid of these guys a lot of the time, but it sort of backfires. And Stone Arrow might work, but it might... he's in plate, so... we have for... I wonder what this... yeah, this is probably not going to do anything with 0 info, I don't think. That's what I thought. Not that I don't have very good... oh, I've got to remember too that I can dig. I haven't dug at all. Shows you how seldom I play Formicids. Guess I'd have to actually loop around. Man, that's a lot longer than I had hoped. I think I only have a 1-tile gap, so... I guess we'll have to do it the long way. That's annoying. What's up, Jibicus? Spells are alternate weapons. You should learn spells. Just the low level, to start with, the low level spells that you probably already know about. Like Regen, Blink, Swift. Regen is, well, you're TSO, so you can't do Regen, sorry. But those other ones I mentioned that aren't Necromancy. I'm gonna run into that guy again, aren't I? He headed. I might not. Oh, I can just dig. What am I worried about? As far as alternate weapons go, yeah, you just want to have a Holy Wrath as your main weapon. You do want to have like a backup. You do want to have like a backup weapon that is basically for things that aren't demons or undead. But I mean, it's not even all that important. Because you're going to be pretty much always fighting those things. I'm not a fan of Song of Slaying myself. You can use it. You have to have a setup where you know for sure that a bunch of other monsters showing up to a fight you wouldn't care about. Like, you can do things with kill holes. So you can use that spell if you want. I definitely would not consider that a required spell by any stretch. You get enough XP, you can go for something like Control Blink, which is an outstanding spell for extended. Oh, it's JD. Sorry, JD, no song request for you. Do I want to ID this? Wait, what is this? Oh. Featuring the consoles. I get it. Living in the past. It's the old JD. New JD doesn't need song requests. But yeah, because a lot of people doing Gargoyles of TSO. If you want to see what mine look like, actually I have one that's 15. That should be a 15 rune. That's the last one I did. That was like 0.20 in the tournament. That gives you an idea of what the character will look like. He's DJing in his office now, no joke. That's pretty sick. One with more extensive knowledge of, well, JD has a lot of extensive knowledge of many topics. I guess is one way to put it. Oh good, another orc in plate. Yeah, I can't really LRD these guys too well, can I? I wonder what damage it would do. Yeah, that's what I thought. Nice. Good poly, man. That's what you want to see. So I want to get spell hunger down a little bit, I guess. So I'm usually, the kind of skilling that I'm doing, you know, I'm playing really slow, for one. So apologies if that annoys you, but the kind of skilling that I'm doing is like, kind of like how you see Elliptic do his runs. It's sort of one skill at a time. Just get the thing that has the low cost up a few levels, then move on to the next thing that has a low cost that you want. If you do it like this, you progress in the things that you actually, that are the skills that you actually want to have that are sufficiently low enough costs. Like I might want to have maybe some other skill a little bit more than spellcasting, but the cost is really right for spellcasting right now. So if you skill one at a time like this, it means you have to enter skills a little bit more frequently, but it's a little bit better. So some people get a character and they'll turn on just a few skill, especially if it's like a melee character. You'll see people turn on fighting unfocused, armor unfocused, and maybe weapon focused, and just leave it on. And it's not a huge difference in many cases. For spellcasters, you kind of want to be a little bit more careful though. I think, you know, various people are kind of around. You know, the Tiles chat days are over. I see Hellmonk a bunch in Discord. Archaeos shows up to stream sometimes. boats. Yep. Slow and steady wins the Dwant race. This isn't what Puppy wanted. Puppy wanted Formicids to be about, believe it or not, Puppy wanted Formicids to be crossbow users of Zin. Well, guess what, Puppy? You don't have to play your game. Play Cheb. No thanks. Crossbows. Yep. He didn't give them a positive aptitude, although he might have an early version, but yeah, he thought crossbow users of Zin were cool, and so he had that as the idea. How do I make a species where people would do that more? I'm gonna do a J Cobalt eventually. Yep, 2013, 2016/17 Riptiles chat. We actually talked about disabling Tiles chat some weeks back because we had more trouble with people trolling. But it's not something we could just really do because each server admin has to basically decide that for themselves. But I think Advil has a branch to... Okay, so what do I have? Heal other. Oh right, I can pacify things now. This works best on animals and is less effective on humanoids. Yeah, this is where you want the invo. So this is what I could use on maybe orc warriors for a while. Actually, I'm going to set this to be a little bit lower, maybe more like our poison minus, giant clubs and shields. Yeah, I think Pubby wanted to do those things too, in addition to the Formicid stuff I mentioned, or the the crossbows in. You got flame. Guess I could poly him, but oh, why would you do that now? All right, let's try self-heal. I am. Well, it worked. Do one more int. Oh wow, you had the goods. I almost, but I didn't though, Tetranai. It's all according to plan. I'm telling you. Not sure what this vault is all about here. Mummies? And I guess mummies can be normal spawns, but there's something weird going on. Oh yeah, this vault. I recognize this vault. That's where the mummy came from. Wow, JD loves these remixes. These OC remixes, he loves these. He's saving these on his playlist. Next to all his French pop and other eclectic music. You can't look him up in the LearnDB. Tilto. He's not in the LearnDB of knowledge. He's defined in another place. Wow, look at this. Look. A lot of orcs. Gotta take them carefully. Remember I have to remember that I have dig though. Well, I have shaft too, but I don't want to have to use that. Yeah, I probably need to be using pacify more carefully, but just an orc priest is not a great target. It's more something maybe that I either really need to escape from or just have a hard time killing. This is, oh, okay, I think I know this vault. Why is there a hog here? Is this Kirky? Kirky, however you pronounce her name. This is a food vault. I guess one of the few places where you're going to see hogs. Actually gonna get a bit more. Gotta have the shouting sounds in a Mutant Turtles song. Oh, okay.